Christmas is an anxious time, right? Like people get stressed about money, they get stressed about being with their family, they get stressed about what presents they're going to buy and what they're going to cook and how they're going to travel, and oh my god, are they even going to be able to leave their house, and are they vaccinated, and like there's just so much stress in the air right now. And it's not just Christmas, right? Like it's also the new strain from South Africa, it's also what's going on in Australia with the Indigenous people, and it's chaotic, and it's been chaotic for 2 years. But I feel like this Christmas in particular is definitely bringing out the anxiety, because I feel like there's so much extra pressure for people to see their family because they haven't seen their family in 2 years, or to really like ramp it up so that they're like, because that's the first Christmas that we've had since COVID that's actually felt kind of normal, right? Like we're not really in lockdown. I'm speaking specifically to where I am in Australia. Like we're not really in lockdown, you know, everyone's kind of like chilled out a bit, you know, everyone's like, yep, vaccination, no vaccination, like everyone's kind of like in this place where they're like, yay, we can finally celebrate, we can finally do Christmas again. When you're in that state, there is a lot of anxiety that naturally, before COVID even comes with Christmas. And when there's so many people feeling that anxiety and that stress, it ripples out into the collective. And then if you're a sensitive person like myself, it is very easy to pick up. But I would even say that even if you're not a sensitive person, you will probably be picking up on this collective energy, but you won't notice it because you're not sensitive to it. It doesn't really affect you as much as it does for us empaths and us sensitive people. Yeah, so I just made a reel about this on my Instagram. It was really fun. I did you have to go and watch it to understand what I'm talking about, but I did a doona burrito. I like literally was like belly flopped on the bed, grabbed the doona and and then did a stop, drop and roll on the bed and rolled myself up in a burrito. It was so fun. That's probably been the highlight of my day, which is really sad. But it actually was really fun to make that reel. Anyway, this reel was about like how you can combat this energy, how you can double down on your practices. And you guys know, like if you watch my videos, if you read my posts, if you listen to me, if you're part of my community, you already know what I'm gonna say, right? Cleanse your energy, protect your energy, and then do life. Don't try and do life without doing those two things first. So you can do things like having a shower and imagining that all of your negative energy is going away and everything that's not yours is going out of your body. You can do things like breath work to release anything that's not yours. You can literally just do an intention and make the intention that when you breathe in, you bring all of your energy leaks and clog them up and bring all of your energy back to you. And then as you breathe out energy that's not yours and that doesn't serve your highest good. And then you got to protect it, right? Like you got to protect your energy so that you don't get more collective energy coming in. And it's not necessarily all collective energy, right? Like there's some collective energy that is good, but the stuff that doesn't serve you is really what we're talking about here. So to do that, you would just literally put yourself in a white light bubble or a bubble of whatever color feels right for you. Or you can use a Healy if you have Healy and use the protection programs. I do that as well, basically every day. There's so many things you can do, right? But what else is really important is making sure that you're staying grounded and calm and centered. And when you do that, and when you're in this space of just being like chill and like, you know, just blasé about things, not blasé, but just like things just flow freely through you rather than it getting stuck and creating your own chaos as a reaction to collective chaos. So yeah, that's really, I just wanted to bring your attention to what is going on, right? Like Christmas time is fucking stressful for a lot of people, especially if you have family dysfunction, especially if you feel like you are in financial despair is probably a better word. Financial stress. Like Christmas time has so much conditioning around it, and there's so much and even Black Friday, it's probably Black Friday as well, right? Like people overextending themselves, people feeling like they need to buy, business owners feeling like they have to do Black Friday. Like there's just so much conditioning around all of these events. And I just want to invite you to look at what your expectations around Christmas is, and Black Friday, and all of the things ever, Thanksgiving even, Thanksgiving as well. Oh yeah, it's just a crazy time. And really question, like, do you need to be showing up in that way that you are expected to show up? Because probably some of it is not serving you, right? Like, do you actually need to buy everyone in your family a really expensive gift? Do you actually need to have a hot turkey, a cold chook, a 7-course meal, all of the bonbons, all of the lights all over your house, like all of this stuff? Like, does it actually make you happy? Does it actually serve you, or is it just expected of you? And cull out anything that doesn't make you happy or light you up. If Christmas lights on your house make you the freaking happiest you've been all year, then please make your house shine brighter than any house you've ever seen ever. And if eating and cooking is probably the main thing. If cooking for 20 million people makes you really, really happy, please invite everyone to your house. But if you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, I have to go and cook a turkey for 4 hours. I hope I don't burn it, blah, 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 all this stuff. Oh my God, have to invite the in-laws. Oh, I have to buy presents. Like, if you're doing those things, like, either change your frame of mind or just don't do it, right? Like, you get to choose. And this is part of the deconditioning process, is literally choosing what's right for you and what isn't right for you, and acting on it, even though people around you might not agree, might not see your point of view. Like, really, they will have forgotten about it in 3 days. So just don't even stress, right? Like, just do what's right for you, cleanse your energy, protect your energy, and be aware that collectively there's a lot of chaos right now. And when there's a lot of chaos, you need to double down on all of your practices. Something I do is I avoid the shopping centres like the plague from about halfway through November until January. And the reason I do that is because, number one, it's just too crazy. Like, people are going nuts. And number two, I'm very aware of what energy I want to be putting in my field and what kind of energy I want to be surrounded by. And chaotic, stressed, chaotic and stressed energy is not one of those things that I believe is conducive to my growth. So I'm very selective. If I need to buy something, like, I'll obviously still have to go to the supermarket, but like, if I need to buy something, I do it online. And that's why. It's because you have to be so discerning around what you're letting into your field, and how you're letting that affect you, because everything in your life, everything within you is a choice. So at some level, even though we don't want to admit it, at some level we've allowed ourselves to be affected by the collective energy, right? At some level we've allowed our protection to become weak in some way. And that's not an easy thing to come to terms with, like, especially if you teach this stuff, right? Like, I teach this every single day. I'm literally, like, this is my work, right? Like, I'm teaching people how to do this every single day of every single week of every single month, every single year, right? Like, this is my thing, and I still let it happen. So it doesn't, like, just because you know about this doesn't make you perfect at it. It just makes you more capable to be able to combat it and hold yourself accountable for when shit gets real, because you've let collective energy dictate how you live your life, rather than blaming other people and being like, you gave me this energy and you made me feel like this and you did this to me. And also, this is another thing that I feel like happens with families, is like, there's a lot of triggering and a lot of blaming and a lot of victim mentality. So if you are aware that that is going to happen, you're more easily able to prepare for it and hopefully move through it pain-free. But just be aware that this isn't just a Christmas Day thing, right? Like, this has probably been going since the middle of November. So it's ramping up as we move closer to Christmas. So just something to be aware of.